What thing did your family do as a kid that you later learned wasn't normal cooked roadkill? etc. Closing parenthesis.
As an adult, I learned that the fun games my mom played with us were because the utilities were shut off. I remember there being a night where we had a special club with made-up chants that we sung well, dancing around with flashlights. My sister clued me in as an adult that the Unga Bunga Club was what my mom did when we didn't have power. It worked because I have great memories and was oblivious to our struggles.
We read books around the dinner table. Everyone would bring their current book, and we would sit in silence reading and eating until someone had a quote or something they wanted to share or teach. I thought everyone did this and brought my books with me for a long time.
I went home with a college friend my freshman year. After dinner the first night, I asked her whether her parents were always so calm or whether they were acting that way because she had company. She didn't know what I meant. What I meant was that her parents didn't yell and scream at each other at the dinner table. I thought that was normal behavior. I was 18.
Once I was at a friend's house. Friend's younger sister, middle school aged at the time, was responsible for pet sitting their grandparents' chickens when grandparents were away. Grandparents' house and chickens were about a 15 minutes walk from friend's house. One Friday night when I was at their house, above-mentioned sister said, "Whoops, I forgot to do XYZ with the chickens when I went over there today." Friend's mom was like, "Oh, okay, no big deal, we can walk over there after dinner and take care of it." The simpleness of that response, the understanding that mistakes get made, the calmness of providing a solution, and offering to accompany the girl to resolve the matter. This all made me realize how abnormal my upbringing was. Because my mother would have screamed at me and called me an idiot and would have acted like my thoughtlessness was the biggest inconvenience in the world.
My parents woke us up at 4 a.m. to make them a drink, whiskey and water on the side. I only found out this wasn't normal when I spent the night at a friend's house. I slept until 7 a.m. and was shocked. I asked my friend why her parents didn't wake us up at 4 a.m. She said, "Why would they do that?" I said to make them a drink. Her reaction to that made me realize I didn't have a normal home life.
My parents are into birding, and when a migratory bird or other interesting species would die in their yard, occasionally they'd put the poo thing in a Ziploc and freeze it so they could look at it later. I guess they also had a frozen pet caiman that had died until spring came and they could bury him in the yard. So when I grew up and my husband and I bought our first house, and an unusual woodpecker hit a window and died, I scooped it into a Ziploc and froze it, as one does. My husband was incredibly weirded out and informed me that it is not, in fact, normal to have dead wild birds in the freezer.
Hide from Dad if he came home in a bad mood.